The film follows Abigail Abby Flores, a socially awkward but imaginative high school senior who narrates her life through elaborate fantasies that exaggerate her hopes, fears, and romantic expectations. Abby is fixated on the idea that her first sexual experience and first real romance should be perfect, cinematic, and transformative. At the center of this fantasy is Max Warren, a popular boy at her Catholic private school who has been dating Mercedes, another student who seems to embody everything Abby believes she is not: confident, beautiful, and socially powerful. Abby's ordinary life contrasts sharply with her inner world. At home she lives with her loving but overbearing parents who treat her as a child even as she quietly plans her own independence. At school St. Bernadette's she blends into the background surrounded by wealthy, self-assured classmates and rigid expectations shaped by religion and social status. Abby's fantasies frequently interrupt reality, creating humorous and surreal sequences that reveal how deeply she longs to feel chosen, desired, and special. When Max unexpectedly breaks up with Mercedes, Abby interprets it as fate. For the first time her long-held crush feels attainable. Yet this possibility also intensifies her insecurity. Abby realizes she has no real experience with dating, intimacy, or confidence, and she becomes painfully aware that nearly everyone around her seems more mature and knowledgeable than she is. Determined not to miss her chance with Max before graduation scatters everyone in different directions, Abby resolves to change herself quickly and decisively. Searching for guidance, Abby turns to unlikely sources. At school she bribes the student who wears the St. Bernard mascot costume to gather gossip about Max. The information she gets is shallow and often absurd, but it reinforces Abby's belief that Max is highly desired and sexually experienced, which only deepens her anxiety. Feeling unprepared and overwhelmed, Abby looks beyond her familiar world for answers. Her search leads her by accident and curiosity to a strip club called Diamond Dolls. There Abby encounters Santa Monica, a charismatic, confident dancer whose commanding presence immediately captivates her. To Abby, Santa Monica represents everything she wishes she could be: fearless, unapologetic, and entirely comfortable in her own skin. Seeing Santa Monica perform awakens something in Abby, not just sexual curiosity but a sense of possibility. She becomes convinced that Santa Monica is the key to her transformation. Through a series of misunderstandings and bold decisions, Abby hires Santa Monica under false pretenses, eventually revealing her true intention. She wants Santa Monica to coach her in confidence, intimacy, and self-assurance so she can win Max. Santa Monica is initially skeptical and blunt, but when Abby offers a significant amount of money, Santa Monica agrees. Her motivation is not only financial but also practical, as Diamond Dolls is on the brink of closure due to debts and the threat of a predatory businessman eager to take over the club. What follows is an unconventional mentorship that forms the emotional core of the film. Santa Monica's lessons are less about physical techniques and more about attitude, boundaries, communication, and self-respect. She pushes Abby out of her comfort zone, forcing her to confront how little she values herself and how much of her identity revolves around pleasing others. Many of these lessons are comedic and chaotic, filled with mishaps, arguments, and moments of embarrassment, but beneath the humor lies genuine growth. As Abby spends more time with Santa Monica, her worldview begins to shift. She starts questioning why Max's approval matters so much and whether her fantasies have been protecting her from the risk of real disappointment. Santa Monica in turn reveals her own vulnerabilities. Despite her confidence on stage, she struggles with financial instability, aging in an industry that prizes youth, and unresolved resentment toward people who once dismissed or exploited her. Their relationship becomes mutual rather than transactional, with both women learning from each other. Parallel to Abby's personal journey is the fight to save Diamond Dolls. The club represents community and survival for its dancers, and its potential loss raises the stakes for Santa Monica and her friends. Abby, using money she earned through online gaming and streaming, becomes unexpectedly involved in the effort to keep the club open. This subplot highlights Abby's hidden competence and independence, traits she had never fully acknowledged in herself. As the week progresses and the deadline to save the club approaches, Abby grows more grounded in reality. Her fantasies become less intrusive and she starts making decisions based on what she wants rather than what she thinks she should want. When she finally interacts with Max again, she sees him more clearly, not as the flawless figure from her imagination but as a flawed, ordinary person with his own baggage. Abby must choose between continuing to chase an idealized version of romance or embracing the messy, uncertain process of becoming herself. At the same time, Santa Monica confronts her past and reclaims agency over her future, standing up to the man threatening to take over Diamond Dolls and redefining her role within the club. Abby does not emerge as a completely different person but as a more honest and self-aware version of herself. She understands that confidence is not something you fake for someone else but something you build by respecting your own desires and limits. Her connection with Santa Monica remains one of the most meaningful relationships she has formed, rooted in honesty, humor, and mutual empowerment rather than fantasy. The film ultimately presents a coming-of-age story that subverts expectations. Instead of focusing on romance as the final reward, it emphasizes self-knowledge, chosen family, and the courage to live in reality rather than escape into dreams. Through sharp comedy and heartfelt moments, it explores how growing up often means letting go of the perfect story you imagined and learning to write your own. Abby's life changes when her mother hires a stripper named Santa Monica to perform at a small party. Santa Monica is loud, confident, funny, and unapologetically sexual, everything Abby is not. Despite their age difference, the two form an unexpected friendship. Abby, desperate to learn how to be normal and sexually confident before graduation, asks Santa Monica to teach her about sex, dating, and how to attract guys. Santa Monica agrees, partly amused and partly touched by Abby's honesty, and starts giving her blunt, explicit advice about bodies, pleasure, confidence, and self-presentation. As they spend more time together, Abby starts coming out of her shell. She experiments with clothes, makeup, and social situations, and even gains the nerve to talk to Max. Santa Monica becomes a kind of chaotic mentor figure, pushing Abby to stop overthinking and start living. At the same time, Abby learns more about Santa Monica's life and realizes that beneath the confidence is someone struggling financially. Santa Monica works at a strip club called Diamond Dolls, which is in danger of being taken over by a creepy exploitative investor unless she and the owner can raise a large amount of money quickly. Abby promises to help her, believing she can raise the money through her online streaming platform and personal savings. Their friendship deepens during a dangerous house call Santa Monica takes, where Abby ends up saving her from a group of threatening men. The experience bonds them and makes Abby feel brave and capable for the first time. It is also Abby's birthday and Santa Monica celebrates her in a way no one ever has, making Abby feel seen and valued. However, Abby is hiding the fact that she does not actually have the money she promised. She assumed she would be able to raise it in time, but her online followers drop, her fundraising fails, and she begins to panic. Meanwhile, Abby's confidence with Max grows. He invites her to a party at his house and Abby believes this will finally be her big sexual moment. Santa Monica encourages her but also starts questioning whether Abby truly wants sex or is just trying to force herself into adulthood. When Santa Monica finds out Abby lied about the money, the friendship explodes into a painful argument. Santa Monica feels betrayed, accusing Abby of treating her like a fantasy or a game instead of respecting that this is her real life. Abby feels judged and dismissed, especially when Santa Monica tells her she is not ready for sex. They part on bitter terms. At the party, Abby finally gets alone time with Max, only to realize that most of what she assumed about him is wrong. Max is also a virgin, awkward and insecure, and he genuinely likes Abby for who she is. Abby admits she is not ready for sex and Max accepts this without pressure. This moment forces Abby to confront the fact that she has been chasing an idea of sex and maturity instead of understanding her own feelings. She realizes she does not need to rush or pretend to be someone else to be loved. Feeling guilty about Santa Monica and determined to make things right, Abby takes a huge emotional risk. She goes live on her streaming platform and publicly confesses her lies, insecurities, and mistakes. She asks her followers, classmates, and the strip club patrons to help her raise the remaining money to save Diamond Dolls. In a chaotic but heartfelt moment, Abby performs an awkward, unpolished dance on stage at the club. Instead of being mocked, she is embraced. Her vulnerability inspires people to donate and the total finally reaches the amount needed. At the last moment, Santa Monica's former classmate Robin steps in and uses her husband's money to fully secure the club, exposing her own unhappy life and choosing solidarity over judgment. The creepy investor is thrown out and Diamond Dolls is saved. Santa Monica reconciles with Abby, apologizing for projecting her fears onto her and acknowledging that Abby has the right to decide her own timeline. Abby apologizes for lying and for treating Santa Monica's struggles lightly. They recognize that they helped each other grow in different ways. The film ends with Abby sharing a sweet, nervous first kiss with Max, not as a triumphant sexual conquest but as a genuine emotional milestone. Her parents arrive unexpectedly and witness the chaos, but Abby finally stands her ground. When asked what she has done, she simply says she made a friend. The story closes on the idea that growing up is not about sex or confidence or fitting a mold, but about honesty, connection, and learning to choose for yourself when you are ready. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.